Huh? I'm sorry, who is this? A voice I vaguely recognized. Despite the unfamiliar number, my thoughts were in turmoil. Ignoring my feelings, the person on the other end of the line dropped a bombshell.
It's me. You haven't forgotten, have you? Your husband's voice.
Huh? Why?
Sorry for being late. I'll be back tomorrow. Get some food ready, okay?
Late? Coming back tomorrow? What is this person talking about? 3 years ago, he left without any discussion, leaving divorce papers behind. But he still doesn't know the actions I and my in-laws took after he left. My name is Erin Martin, and I'm 28 years old. I work for a cosmetics company as just an ordinary office worker. I've been busy with work for the past 2 years, but my life changed dramatically after meeting someone. Since meeting him, every day has sparkled and life has become enjoyable. That person is David, my current husband. We met 2 years ago and hit it off by chance. Our relationship naturally progressed, and he proposed 6 months ago. And last month, we finally became a married couple. We both worked, and our personal lives were going smoothly, and we thought this happiness would continue indefinitely. Then my husband brought up this topic.
Hey, Erin. Actually, my dad wants to build us a house.
Huh? Your father?
Yeah, Dad really likes you, Erin, and he wants to build us a house since he has the means.
Well, but isn't that too much?
No, it's fine. Dad has plenty of money.
David's father is what you'd call a wealthy man. It seems he made quite a profit from stocks in the past and now lives off real estate income. However, their actual family home isn't a mansion by any means. They rebuilt it just a few years ago, and it's not too big or too small. It's just the right size for my in-laws to live comfortably. Whenever we visit, it's not fancy cuisine that comes out, but always my mother-in-law's homemade cooking. While it's true what my husband says about his dad having plenty of money, asking for such a significant purchase like a house feels a bit awkward. So we decided to visit my in-laws over the weekend. As soon as we arrived, my father-in-law eagerly started asking questions, looking pleased.
Erin, are you listening to what David told you? I want to gift you two a house.
Oh, Dad. Actually, today is about that topic.
Oh, that's great. So, what kind of house do you want? You might have kids in the future, so more rooms would be better, right?
Well, it's not about that. Is it really okay for us to accept such a generous offer? At my question, my father-in-law blinked for a moment, but then burst into laughter.
There's no need to hold back. I'm saying I want to give this as a gift. I'm getting older and I don't really have any particular hobbies.
But what about trips with Mom or something?
Oh, come on, I can take you on as many trips as you want. So don't hesitate. Accept it as a gift.
But...
Just having someone like you, Erin, marrying David makes me truly happy. It's only natural for parents to want to do something for their daughter or son, right?
Dad. Peeking timidly at my mother-in-law's face, she too smiled warmly at me. My husband stroking my head, seeming somewhat proud as he spoke. In this way, we decided to accept my father-in-law's offer and allow him to build us a house. Although my father-in-law suggested putting the property in both my husband's and my name, for now we requested it to remain in his name. To think just half a year into our marriage, we would obtain our dream home. Everything was going so smoothly. Almost too smoothly. It made me a little uneasy. But I hadn't realized yet, the devil's hand is just around the corner. It all started with something trivial. Since moving into the new home my father-in-law built for us, my husband's return times from work became later. Ironically, while trying to finish work quickly and return home by the usual time because I wanted to be back early, it seemed my husband had different plans. I found myself spending more time alone at home. Even our shared dinners, which used to be a regular thing, turned into silent meals eaten alone. My husband's return time gradually grew later, and our conversations as a couple dwindled down to just the 20 minutes before he left for work in the morning. Feeling the loneliness keenly, one day I decided to gently probe my husband about it. "Hey, David, lately you've been coming home late, haven't you?" He turned his head towards me.
"It can't be helped, right? I have overtime at work."
"But you've never been this late before. Do overtime hours suddenly pile up like this?"
"The company's really busy right now." "What, you think I'm lying about overtime or something? Do you think I'm off somewhere having fun?"
"No, it's not like that. I only wanted to gather a bit of information, but somehow ended up receiving a disproportionate reaction. From that day on, conversations with my husband became minimal. Everyday talks nearly vanished, and our once cozy home turned into a suffocating place. It seemed my husband felt the same. Not only on weekdays, but also on weekends, he spent more time away from home. Whenever I asked where he was going, he'd mention things like
working on weekends,
or
having meals with colleagues,
leaving me with nothing to verify. I grew tired of such days. Then, one day, out of the blue, my in-laws happened to visit our home, saying they were in the neighborhood. When asked by my father-in-law,
"Where's David?"
I told him the truth. "Well, actually, he's hardly been home lately."
"What? What do you mean by that?"
"He comes home late on weekdays, and even on weekends, he's out since morning. Whenever I ask David, he just dodges with excuses like working on weekends or having meals with colleagues or friends."
"What's he up to? Even though you both work, he is leaving all the housework to you?"
"I don't mind doing the housework, really. It's not a big deal for me."
"No, it's not okay. Since you both work, you should share the housework."
My father-in-law often helps my mother-in-law with household chores. In fact, my father-in-law seems to enjoy cleaning. Often, while my mother-in-law watches TV, he's busy mopping the hallway. For him, leaving the house wide open and not helping with household chores was probably intolerable. Right then and there, he called my husband and gave him an earful, saying,
"Enough is enough."
But that didn't turn out well. The next day when I returned home from work, there was a piece of paper placed on the desk. Couldn't help but widen my eyes. Is this? It was an uncontested divorce form. Moreover, only my husband's section was already filled out. There was no date written on it, so he's implying I should submit it on the day I sign it. Without understanding what was happening, I tried calling my husband, but no matter how many times I rang, there was no response. I tried calling him dozens of times, but he never answered. Why would he suddenly bring up a divorce form? Was it because I talked too much to your parents yesterday? But it's not just because of that, it's because of his recent actions. For now, I decided to go to my in-laws' house and explain the situation. After recounting what happened, my father-in-law's face turned red, and he raised his voice.
"That guy! How irresponsible of him!"
My father-in-law tried calling my husband, but as expected, there was no response. Not knowing what to do, my father-in-law spoke gently.
"For now, Aaron, continue living in that house."
"Huh? But without David..."
"It's okay. I gave you that house as a gift. From now on, you can use it as your own home."
"Dad..." My own parents' home is far away, so moving back there, considering my job, is impossible. Therefore, I decided to take advantage of my father-in-law's offer and continue living there. A year and a half passed with no contact from my husband. Although I received several unilateral messages urging me to submit the divorce papers, there was never a response to my attempts to contact him. At that time, I received a call from the detective I had hired. The request was to find out my husband's whereabouts. I couldn't hide my surprise at the result of that investigation.
"Your husband is currently living with another woman."
"What? What do you mean?"
"Your husband has been frequently spotted walking with another woman."
The detective took out several photos and lined them up in front of me. There in the pictures, my husband and an unfamiliar woman were seen arm in arm, entering the same room, appearing just like lovers. Overwhelmed with shock, my vision blurred, and I struggled to breathe. Why? How could this happen? And where did he meet someone like her? As if sensing my emotions, the detective began to speak slowly.
The woman in question appears to work at the same company as your husband.
Oh, at the same company.
Yes, she seems to be your husband's subordinate. Both of them started unauthorized absences from work around the same time and have since become unreachable.
So does that mean their relationship started before my husband disappeared?
That seems to be the case. In this scenario, it's highly likely they intentionally disappeared together. That's one line of investigation.
I can't believe it. Looking back now, there were so many red flags. He started coming home late all of a sudden, and he was often absent on weekends. If I consider all of that as signs of infidelity, it all makes sense. I have been fooled by my husband all along. The frustration at not realizing it sooner overwhelmed me, and tears streamed down my face. I immediately went to my in-laws' house and told them the truth. Despite turning pale, my in-laws lowered their heads repeatedly and comforted me as I sobbed uncontrollably. Please, let us divorce. My father-in-law muttered weakly to me as I told him so.
We have no right to stop you, Erin. I'm truly sorry.
I'm the one who, despite receiving so much kindness, ended up with this kind of result.
Please don't apologize. It's all because of that idiot son of mine. It's a shame to tear down the house we built, but let's do it. We don't know when he'll come wandering back. I'll pay the compensation instead. Erin, you can live wherever you want.
This can't be. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Let me do this much.
Dad. I couldn't say anything more as my father-in-law lowered his head. Afterward, I signed the divorce papers my husband had left behind and submitted them. It was the moment everything ended. The new home my father-in-law built was dismantled to remove any trace of my husband, and then my father-in-law transferred a lump sum of money to me, enough to buy a condo with ease. A year and a half later, without touching the money my father-in-law gave me, I now live alone. I rented a condo near my workplace, within my means. Back then, I couldn't even consider meeting someone new, let alone going on a date. I thought I'd burst into tears if I did. But now, with a job that keeps me pleasantly busy, I don't think about him at all. I meet my in-laws regularly, and sometimes we have meals together as a group of 3. However, we never discuss my ex-husband. We simply enjoy our meals as a family. Then one day, after finishing work and checking my phone, I found a missed call from an unknown number. I wonder who it is, but it's not a private number. As I debated whether to call back, the same number called again. Hello, who is this?
Oh, hey. Is this Erin?
The voice on the other end of the line sounded somewhat familiar, leaving me confused. Ignoring my confusion, the person on the other end of the line dropped a bombshell.
It's me, David. You haven't forgotten, have you? Your husband's voice.
Huh? Why?
Why? It's normal for a husband to call his wife, right?
What are you talking about? Do you even realize what you've done?
Sorry for being late. I'll be back tomorrow. Get food ready, okay?
I am so angry at him for being so selfish to no end. At the same time, a sense of revenge fills my entire being. Yes, I've got it. I've come up with a good plan. If he's coming back, that means he's prepared, right? In that case, I'll thoroughly settle the scores for all the past grievances. I told him understood and hung up the phone. Immediately, I went to my in-laws' house and explained my plan to them, and they nodded in agreement. On the way home from my parents-in-law's house, I went to the lawyer's office and asked him to accompany me to see my ex-husband tomorrow. Everything is perfectly prepared now. Just watch. I'll let my actions speak for themselves. Most likely, David will return to the house we used to live in together. The next day, as I peeked from a hiding spot with my in-laws and the lawyer, sure enough, David appeared out of the blue. However, he panicked upon realizing that the house was already gone. I was filled with the urge to knock him down right away, but I suppressed the impulse and pretended to be calm as I approached him. Long time no see, David. My ex-husband, reacting to my voice, looked flustered and opened his mouth.
Oh, Erin, thank goodness. I can't seem to find the house. Wasn't it around here?
That's right. This is where our house used to be.
Used to be? What's with that phrasing? It's like it's not here anymore.
Exactly. Your affair and your leaving cost your father to demolish it. So even if you come back wandering like this, you won't be able to live here again.
What? Don't mess around. What did you tell my dad?
David grabs my collar as he says that. With a shudder sound, my father-in-law captures that moment. As my in-laws and the lawyer appear simultaneously, my husband's face turns pale.
What's going on?
My father-in-law mutters quietly, yet with a menacing tone.
You. How dare you come back so carelessly, after eloping with your mistress? But why would you? The detective Aaron hired looked into it. They also found evidence of your affair. But it's hard to get compensation from you, so I've given up so far. Wait a minute, compensation? You don't have anywhere else to go, do you? I'll let you go back to our house. In exchange, work like there's no tomorrow and pay compensation to Aaron. This is...
David looks at me with pleading eyes. Does he still think he can be forgiven even after all this? My anger, already at its breaking point, finally erupted. What's with that look? You don't seriously think I'll forgive you just because you apologize, do you? I'm sorry, but no matter how many times you apologize, I'm not going to forgive you. You've done the worst thing a person could do. Don't you have something to say for yourself first?
No. I already broke up with her, so...
You can't even apologize properly. You're finished as a human being. I'm glad I divorced a scumbag like you. I won't let someone like you interfere with my life from now on. Reflect on your actions and try to live without causing trouble to others.
Please, forgive me.
David collapsed on the spot, crying. He was then taken away by his parents. After that, through a lawyer, I formally demanded compensation from my ex-husband and his mistress. Since neither could pay in one lump sum, I had made arrangements to seize their accounts if they ever fell behind on installment payments. Under the surveillance of his parents, David took on multiple jobs and worked desperately. On the other hand, since I was able to successfully claim compensation, I decided to return the money I had previously received from my father-in-law. However, my father-in-law told me,
if in the end I can't give you the house as a gift, I still want you to accept the sentiment.
So I ultimately decided to gratefully accept it. I still haven't touched that money. If something troublesome happens, I intend to use it at that time. Although the marriage failed, I was able to meet wonderful in-laws. My in-laws will always be like parents to me. I'll just be myself and live my life true to who I am.